What's up, people? Orseofkorse here, coming at you with another Paragon deck build. Today, I want to look at my boy Howitzer. In this new meta, on this new map, casters have a place again. They're actually a threat. Howitzer is among them. He hits very hard, especially early game. If you're not paying attention, a Howitzer can do you in. Late game, he starts to fall off a little bit, but he still has a place in the game. You know, as far as damage, he starts to fall off, but he's still useful, I think, all game. He's a very viable choice. So let's go ahead and jump into it here. Now, I go with the Archmagus as its prime card. It gives you the 60 power, 100% damage bonus. You could argue the Centurion to give him a little more survivability, but I like this. You know, have him hitting hard, have him bend in the fight. So that's why I go with this one. Now, consumables, I go Health Potion, Mana Potion, Scout's Ward. So very basic, very simple. Now, as we get down to his deck proper, I went all intellect. I didn't do any fury cards. And I'll go over my throwaways first, which I have 3. And then I'll go over the deck proper. Let's start with the Solaris Reactor. So the Solaris Reactor gives you 6 power, 0.3 mana regen, and then 0.6 mana regen once you fully upgrade it. And I equip this with 3 basic chronos, giving them a nice little bit of mana regen. I usually don't equip this one first. It's usually the last of my throwaways that I equipped, if I even equipped it at all. Sometimes I might skip it and just go straight into my deck proper, depending on the situation of the game. Now, I always equip these cards, my 2 Amp Crystals. These are the first cards that I equip. And the Amp Crystal gives you 6 power, 30 mana, and once you fully upgrade it, you get 60 mana. I like keeping Howitzer high on mana so that I can keep throwing out those abilities. So this card is perfect for that. Right here, I equipped it with 2 basic manas, which gives me 30 mana apiece, and then 1 minor cast because I ran out of mana cards when I first built this deck, but I got another one in the card pack. So actually, we're gonna go with 3 manas. So the second one is exactly the same: 6 power, 30 mana, and then 3 basic manas. So this will give me a nice mana pool to start the game off with, and allow me to sit out there and hopefully outplay and outlast the person that I'm laning against. Now, as we get down here, we'll get into the deck proper. Depending on the enemy team, sometimes I might go with the Lord's Ward first, but usually I'll just keep my Scout Ward for a while. But Lord's Ward, let's go over this one first. It's 30 mana, 50 health, and 0.3 mana regen. And more importantly, it gives you the Shadow Wards. Now, I like to have the wards in my deck just for that vision. Shadow Wards are helpful because the enemies can't just go and whack them like they can the Scout's Wards. So I like keeping this in my deck, even if I don't equip it until later in the game. It still comes in handy, and that vision really helps your team. Now, we're going to get here my 9-point cards, which are Amp Crystals. Just like I showed you before, and they're basically exactly the same, just that instead of the basic manas, I do a mana, which is 60 mana instead of 30. And my second Amp Crystal is exactly the same. So basically just an upgrade from my throwaways. Now, as we get down, we see that I have a third Amp Crystal, which is the same, just that it has advanced manas, so 90 mana apiece. So very simple deck. I'm stacking mana, and that is so that when I equip this card here, which is the Hydroverser, I will get a nice boost to my power, basically my damage, because this card gives you 0.3 mana regen, 50 health, then a unique passive gain power equal to 7% of your current mana. So I like to stack mana really high. I don't put any power in this deck. I just go straight mana and mana regen a little bit, so that when I equip this card, my damage will go up just ridiculously. And then Howitzer starts hitting pretty hard. And for the later game, that's good because you still want him to be a threat. I equipped this card with a Chrono and 2 basic Sparks, so giving me a little mana regen. And then the last card in this deck is the Infinity Stream. And now this is a card that I'm playing around with. I just want to see how it works out in the deck, and so far it's doing pretty well. So this card is 0.3 mana regen, 2 ability penetration, and then plus 2.4 mana regen scales with your current mana percent. So I like this card because along with my huge mana pool, this card makes it so that I can stay out for a long time without having to worry about going back for mana. And I equip this with 2 shock and a minor shock, giving me a pretty good ability penetration. And that'll make it so that along with Hydroverser, that Howitzer is actually hitting for a fair amount of damage. So those 2 cards make Howitzer a threat, and the rest of my cards make sure that he's out there utility mostly, making sure that he can stay out on the field, making sure that he can poke out at the enemy, and help your jungler get a good gank, or whoever, you know, isn't standing their lane because they want to go for kills. So, you know. So that's what I have for my Howitzer right now. It seems to be working pretty good for me. Let me know what you think. Also, I would like to know down in the comments, who is your favorite caster right now? Like, who are you playing? My favorite right now, I'm liking Howitzer, but I'm loving Gadget, actually. Gadget is my favorite caster right now. She doesn't have quite as good of an escape as a Howitzer, but I still like her. Her sticky grenade is ridiculous right now. So let me know what you think. Also, people, make sure to drop a like on this video if you liked it, if it helped you at all. Make sure to subscribe make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and share the video out if you think somebody else might like it. That's all I got for you today, people. This is Orseofkorse. We'll see you in the next video. Have a good day. Peace.